Lexus just updated the RZ, its mass market electric vehicle. It was not their first electric vehicle. That is thanks to the UX300e that was only available in Europe and Asia, never came to North America. And Lexus and Toyota right now are juggling with the idea of EVs, right? Because kind of in flux in this weird area where infrastructure is not there, customer demand is dropping. Early adopters have kind of already been saturated. Most automakers who are making EVs that are not Tesla or BYD are bleeding money developing them and selling them. And that going on in the background, Lexus has just given the smallest update possible to their RZ electric vehicle. So let's get into it. Okay, so just a few updates for the RZ, then we'll talk a little bit about the current state of the RZ. Lexus adds front-wheel drive model RZ450e. Now, we're at the global Toyota page, so this is for the Japanese market. Will we see a front-wheel drive RZ in United States? I would say there's a 50-50 chance. I mean, it essentially becomes the exact same powertrain as the BZ4X at this point, with the 201 horsepower, 150 kilowatt front wheel drive motor. Yes, front wheel drive. It's not going to be rear wheel drive, ladies and gentlemen. What are the benefits now that you only have 200 horsepower instead of about 300 horsepower? Well, your efficiency goes up. The BZ4X for me, when I reviewed it, was extraordinarily efficient in and around town. 0 to 60 on this will probably now be around 7 seconds instead of the, gosh, what was I getting? I think I was getting like 4.90 to 60 on the 300 horsepower RZ450e. So what other options did they do here, or what other upgrades? Well, they've also added a battery rapid heating system. So that's going to help charge the vehicle faster when you need to charge, especially in colder climate. So they've fixed that, thank God. I know. So here's the thing. Like, I love the RZ. Don't know if I'm sold on the looks. I think it looks interesting, but yeah, it rides great. It's smooth. It's powerful. It's super quiet. The materials are pretty nice on the inside, especially with this tan interior. But the RZ software was not good. The range was not great. The charging is way subpar now compared to what other competitors are doing. Luckily, the new models have updated software here that will actually tell you the percentage of the battery or the state of charge remaining. Previously, it would just be this bar, and you just kind of have to estimate your battery capacity or state of charge. In a gas car, that's fine because you can find a gas station anywhere and fill up in a couple minutes. On an electric car, you need to have all these metrics available to you at all times. There's no reason, in my opinion, that should have been left out when this car launched. I believe it's available as a software update, but you still have to take it to the dealership to update, let's say, the current model year, the previous model year RZ. And it looks like they've updated the climate control estimation. When you turn on any climate control, even if it's just one fan speed and modest AC or no AC at all, it just the computer had no idea how to calculate your range based off of the AC. I think that's been fixed on the new models. What else is new? Well, they've improved the rear suspension. They had to redevelop it for the front-wheel drive model, and it helps suppress noise and unpleasant vibrations. Coil, spring, stabilizer, and shock absorber settings are optimized for front-wheel drive, taking advantage of the vehicle weight, which is approximately 100 kilograms, which is about 220 pounds, lighter than the RZ450e, so the dual-motor model, and has achieved nimble and linear vehicle behavior. The inverter that drives the front motor uses... I just saw this. I skimmed through this, so this is exciting. Now we have a silicon carbide front motor inverter. And so this is going to help it to be more efficient. So it says it has a cruising range of 599 kilometers. The current RZ450e gets about 395 kilometers of range. My math has been off lately, but over 51% better range now on the front wheel drive model compared to the previous, or should I say the current 450e. With the smaller 18-inch wheels in America, the EPA is 220 miles. Let's say we do get 50% increased range here. That means we're going to have 330 miles of range on the front wheel drive RZ. That sounds too good to be true. I'll wait till, well, even if we get this model in this state. If you're getting 50% better range, of course I would take 100 less horsepower. I mean, it's still going to be smooth. And how often do you need to tap into the 200 to 300 horsepower range for daily driving? It's almost never. It's nice to have an Lexus when you're paying this much money, but maybe we can get a nice discount here for the front wheel drive model. But here's the thing. That's the thing about electric cars. When you typically go up in price, up in power, you go down on range. A little bit more details into the improved charging here. We have a rapid battery temperature rise system that's been adopted for large capacity batteries exclusively for BEVs. This improves the path for transmitting heat from the air conditioning heater to the battery mounted under the vehicle floor, minimizing heat loss, quickly raising the temperature of the battery when it's cold, and improving charging speed. This reduces rapid charging time under low outside temperatures, contributing to improved usability for customers. But yes, the charging has gotten better. You're able to charge the vehicle faster especially in these temperature minus 10 Celsius, it looks like. So the 450e is only about 7% more expensive compared to the 300e. The RZ starts at about 60 grand. And if we minus 7% from 60,000, it's going to be about $55,000 roughly if it comes to America. That's just my estimate. Now, the RZ is expanding globally. It's going into Central America and South America into 9 new countries. So with it expanding into more regions and countries, volume has improved on it. They're able to make more of them, but they're sitting around in America. It is in the top 10 of the slowest selling EVs in North America right now, the RZ450e. It sits around 20% longer on the lot compared to your average EV, let alone a Tesla. Tesla isn't on this list. We're over at IC Cars. I talked about this in a previous video this week, how hybrids are gaining so much traction right now, while EVs are fizzling in demand. And the RZ, of course, is falling victim to that. So RZ sitting around on lots about 68 days. And if it's sitting around that long in the lots, it means there's not a lot of demand. And if there's not a lot of demand, maybe dealers aren't asking for them. And if dealers aren't asking for them, that means Lexus has more volume to send to other countries. So I think that's a part of why they're sending it to 9 different regions and countries for the RZ. I just looked in my area for the RZ, and there's a few, right? Within 200 miles, there's 23. Now, check this out. So their average selling on the lots, it takes about 68 days to sell. Check this out. This one was listed 80 days ago. There's been a $3,000 price reduction. And that was, after 2 months of sitting there, they lowered the price by about $3,000. Here's another one in my area, listed 30 days ago, and there's already a $3,000 price reduction on it. Yeah, I just double checked with my video that I made on the BZ4X. It's about 260 miles of range when I was averaging 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. I don't expect the silicon carbide inverter to give you a huge range boost, like over 300. I just don't see it happening. I see it going from about 220 miles on the RZ to maybe 250, 260 miles. Is that going to be worth a $5,000 price drop and a 100 horsepower drop for the RZ? Not entirely sure. I don't think it's enough when there are just better options out there than the RZ as an electric car. If you're just driving around town, then the 450e is going to be fine for you. Maybe the range isn't that big of a deal. It just depends on each individual person's needs and wants. But I just want to update you guys on this. I didn't expect this video to be this long, updating you on the RZ. There's not a lot of updates. You get a front-wheel drive model in certain markets. Hopefully it comes to America to give us more choices. And yes, software is getting a little bit better on them. Not anywhere where it needs to be. The MID behind the steering wheel is too small. It's a 7-inch screen when RAV4 have a 12-inch screen. So it's like, it is what it is. I've already said all these things about the RZ before. And Lexus doesn't seem to be that interested in making EVs right now, even though in 2026 we'll have a new platform. Until then, we might get that 3-row EV, maybe an IS, maybe an ISB EV and the rest are going to be hybrids. And maybe they cancel their plan by 2030 to be fully electric in North America. They're not forced to stick to that roadmap of zero gasoline engines in North America and China. Maybe China, because that's a completely different market. But in North America, we might not see a fully electric Lexus brand until who knows when. But anyways, I'm going to shut it down there. I'll see you guys down below. Let me know which Lexus would you rather have over the RZ, or would you pick the RZ? Would you pick an NX hybrid, plug-in hybrid, RX NX or RX hybrid? I would pick an NX hybrid. An RX hybrid, I don't know. I personally don't like the new RX. But anyways, I'm off the rocker. I'm off the rails here. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Smash the like button, subscribe for more Lexus updates.